Hi, I'm Tim from the Heresy Group. This is my SRS Silverback, fully custom built by the guys over at Snipermechanics. I bought this gun from Skirmshop UK and it was then completely built out before I got it as a V1 build, and I'm currently on the V2 build, and I will explain both of those. Just one note to put in, I will not be doing any shooting of this gun at the moment. I'm going to be doing a full in-depth shooting review that will probably be sort of a 30-minute long video when we talk about trajectory types, BB weights, and go into absolute granular detail on this platform. Today I'll be talking over this, my impression of it, and I have had this out on the ground a couple of times now as well, so lots and lots to talk about. It's probably going to be a fairly long video. So again, this is the SRS from Silverback. It's based on the Desert Tech SRS platform. From what I've been told, these are made in the same factory and come with some of the same components from the real steel, and also the materials made and the materials that compose this gun, like the lower and so on and so forth, are exactly the same materials used on the real Desert Tech rifle. So this is a bullpup sniper rifle. Any of you guys that know me and know the channel from early days, or if you're new to the channel, I sniped for around 2 years. I owned just the sniper rifle for a year, not even a pistol. So I do like my sniper platforms, and I've been interested in getting one for a long period of time. Why choose the SRS? I spoke to a ton of very prominent YouTube airsoft snipers, and they all came back to me with lots and lots of recommendations for this platform. One, the overall length is very, very short when you take off this suppressor, because of the bullpup configuration. They're very reliable, they're very consistent, and they are a platform that is very rugged and very robust, and that's what I needed. Doing the milsims, being out on the ground for a long period of time, you know, transversing through lots of different environments, you need something that is robust and rugged, is going to take the knocks and bangs of being out on the ground for long periods of time. So this really did fit the bill for me. One of the other interesting components of the bullpup configuration, bullpup meaning that the loading and firing mechanism essentially is all housed in the back of the gun, it allows you to have a very, very long inner barrel and a very short overall signature. I run quite a large suppressor on the front of this, and that is to really bring the noise down. Again, in the shooting video, I will show you the big differences with the suppressor on, the muzzle brake, and the standard, and just the standard, you know, kind of nothing on the end configuration. So as you can see, now I've taken that suppressor off, this is a very, very short gun. It's much shorter than even my Scar L, but the inner barrel is a 400mm inner barrel. So the barrel starts here and goes through to the front of the gun. So you get a very, very long barrel area, and then you have your piston section at the back, and then up, you know, and behind that you've got your spring system. And the trigger is essentially on a lever that runs from here all the way to a sear at the very back of the gun, and that releases the trigger. That means that the trigger can have a little bit of squash to it rather than a clean break, but for the, you know, overall feeling of the gun, it does still feel very, very crisp. So, you know, this overall platform, the shortness of it, the configuration of this platform, you know, I've gone for the shorter front rail. They do, this is the 16-inch model, they do a 20 and a 22. I wanted something really close, you know, really closed down and compact, and that's so that, you know, for me it's easier to transport. I can stuff this thing in a backpack. Yes, the top sticks out the back, but, you know, you can stick it in a bag quite easily and lug it around as your kind of secondary if you're moving into an OP position, if you are going to be getting yourself some elevation. It's very, very good platform for being able to do that. The magazines that go in this, you know, obviously are this kind of 338 type, so they're quite a large magazine, or a 7.62 round type. Then, you know, for me they are quite chunky, and you get this little kind of extended knob on the top, and that is so that it feeds all of the BBs. This is the V3 version of the SRS Silverback. They do continually innovate within them, but there is not much left in this gun that is not been customized by the guys over at Snipermechanics. If you do want one of these platforms, I absolutely highly recommend speaking to Snipermechanic. He knows his platform inside and out, and just to be completely transparent, I bought this gun from Skirmshop UK, and I've paid for all of the parts that are within it. There's no freebies here, this isn't a promotional piece. I've paid for all of the parts within this gun and all of the upgrades. I've chosen his parts because getting hands on them and getting time to look over them, they are very, very well made. So the V1 incarnation of this had a TNT multi-bore barrel that is still in here. It had a TNT hop bucking, and it also had the Snipermechanics Wasp piston system. Now that is a variable weight piston system. There was a full video of it back on the channel, and that is what is still in this. What has changed between the V1 and the V2 is I now have the flamingo bucking in here. I have this absolutely stunning fluted cylinder that is Teflon coated and made the bolt pull much smoother. There's also been some changes to the cup on the Wasp, but I'm going to address that in a different video. So from the V1, I was super impressed with the gun. I spoke to Dan, I talked to him about doing a review, and he said, I've just got some new concept unreleased parts. I would really like for you to have a play with them. So before I reviewed the gun, I wanted to see the difference between the V1 version of the gun and the V2 with Dan's new parts in. What I can say from those parts going into this platform is it's made the bolt pull incredibly smooth. That has just been a big difference for this. So, you know, lifting the bolt back, the actual bolt mechanism moving within the gun itself is incredibly smooth, and that bolt pull back is just so light. Then moving that forward, again, super smooth, but nice and positive. It feels like you've got something mechanical that slides forward and into place. So it feels good when you're moving the weapon around. It doesn't feel light and flimsy, but at the same time it doesn't feel really heavy and crunchy. What I've noticed with this platform in using this a good few times now, I took this out to Senny Bridge and ran it in the rain for the day. A few people had mentioned to me about water affecting the gun and so on and so forth, and a few rumours of people having issues in the wet. I didn't have any issues at all and was absolutely blown away by the accuracy from this. Again, I'm going to be doing a full in-depth shooting video, so if you're interested in seeing one of these perform, don't worry, there's going to be a big video coming to the channel real soon. Now, the performance parts that come, you know, that I've put in this gun obviously don't come as standard, and are they more important, you know, to this platform than the standard ones? You know, are they worth having? Are they worth putting in as part of the weapon? For me, absolutely. That Snipermechanics piston that you can see in there is absolutely solid. It's so beautifully made. The edges and the machining on it gives me an absolutely perfect air seal. Now, if you are a guy that's spent a lot of time around sniper rifles, air seal is incredibly important. It's probably one of the most important things for consistency on the platform. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that this gun is completely empty, and I've emptied the platform before shooting this video, because I wanted to show you the air seal, and to be able to do that I need to fire the gun and have my finger over the end of the barrel. So what I'm going to do is just close over the end of the barrel, fingers obviously away from the trigger, and then you've got the piston locked back at the moment where I've wrapped the bolt. So if I now fire the gun, the piston has stopped because of the complete tight air seal. I'm about to move my thumb from over the edge and you will see that drive forward. That shows you that this gun has a complete air seal. That will give you maximum consistency on the airflow. Consistency will give you a consistent FPS range, and then that will also give you a consistent shooting ability from the gun. They're going to be getting the same value and volume of air every single time. So that air seal is incredibly difficult to get without lots of modification. There's no PTFE wraps on this, there's no bits of glue or, you know, no components. These are just all very well made and machined aftermarket parts from the guys over at SniperMechanics. So I'm absolutely blown away by this platform. The solidness of it, the robustness, just the feel, that capability to be able to run that bolt so smooth towards the back, nice and positive. It doesn't feel like you're going to drop this gun or knock it or give it a bit of a stiff pull and have any issues with it breaking or not performing well. Also, it's nice and quiet, it's very easy to break down if you do have any issues of it, and I will be doing a full breakdown video very soon. I didn't want to run into too much detail because there is a lot to talk about with this platform, but there will be a shooting video coming to this, to come into the channel about this very soon. One of the other important things, get yourself a decent quality optic. You know that we are all about getting yourself a decent optic. This on here, in case you guys want to know, is the Vortex Viper. It's a beautiful optic from the guys over at Vortex Optics. It is the 4-16 by 44. Really nice and compact, nice and low to the rail, full parallax adjustment. I've got the quick throw lever on here as well. It's got the Trillium sight over the top so that you can identify what the ranges are what the zoom level is at night, so that you know you're adjusting your ranges, your parallax and so on and so forth. Capped turrets, I will do another review on this, but it is really a good optic, and if you've got a gun that is, you know, highly customized and you're shooting out to those distances, make sure you get yourself a decent optic. You can pick this SRS up from the guys over at Skirmshop UK. If you want to get any customization work done, I highly recommend sending it over to a specialist. Speak to Dan over at Snipermechanics. He will recommend the packages and everything for you, depending on what you want to spend and what you want to get out the gun. But if you really want to take your SRS to the maximum, this is what I recommend, which is a full build from the guys over at Snipermechanics. If you have any questions about this platform, if there's anything that I've missed out, or there's anything you want to see in the future based around the SRS, please make sure you put a comment in the box below. That shooting video will be coming very soon to the channel. It will be a cup of tea and biscuits because it's gonna go into a lot of detail. But I'm super blown away by this platform. Massive thank you to Dan and his time he spent on this weapon, and for allowing me to try out his new concept parts. Again, lots more videos based around the SRS coming real soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.